Have you ever thought of the worst thing that could happen to you? That moment that stuff hits the fan. At the end of this, we hope we can convince you enough on why you need to think about these worst-case scenarios and steps you can take to deaden the impact on you and your family. First of all, SHTF scenarios are totally relative to individuals. A situation that's absolutely worse to one person might be mild to another. Therefore, you owe yourself figuring out at what point SHTF for you and what you bug in and bug out plans are. However, as a beginner prepper, this might be a little confusing. Therefore, we'll come up with a few SHTF scenarios and then the best bug in and out plans to counter the situation in case it eventually happens. Scenario 1. Let's say you get to work and asked to report to your manager. Your manager then informs you that you are part of a layoff because of some financial problems in the company. You were laid off without any type of severance package. What do? That's certainly an SHTF event that can happen to anyone. You are better off planning ahead for such occurrence before it happens. When such a situation hits, you are not just faced with a job loss. You'd be running out of food supplies at some point if not well planned for. You also could lose your home. That's in addition to default in monthly bills. This is even much difficult when you have a family. How about having a side hustle now that things are going well? It's not a bad idea to learn a skill and put it into practice. You'd be a pro before you know it. A good bug-in plan to this scenario would be to have enough food supplies, enough to last a few weeks or a couple of months while in search of a new job. You also need to ensure you have sufficient cash which can keep the bills running before things become normal again. A good bug-out plan, however, would be to make plans for an alternative place to live. If you have a family member around, this could be your best bet. You also want to make sure you can feed while at your alternative shelter. You don't want to inconvenience anyone. Scenario 2. This time we'll take a look at an extreme SHTF situation, something almost inevitable, planning ahead for a hurricane strike. First off, you need to get all the knowledge you can on hurricane strikes and listen to the local report to know if this will affect you. Hurricanes can last for a few hours to a few weeks, so you'll do well to plan for the worst-case scenario. A good bug-in solution to this would be to invest some money in acquiring a bunker that can withstand hurricane winds. You also want to make sure you have enough food supplies, drinkable water, and alternative power to last through the storm. A good bug-out plan, however, would be to relocate from the hurricane's path. You will also want to make plans for rebuilding your damaged building. As we clearly stated at the beginning, SHTF scenarios are totally different for everyone. If you own your job, for instance, you may not bother about losing it, however, you should worry about losing your best clients. That could be a terrible situation that could lead to other things if not planned for. Now that you know some really bad SHTF scenarios and how to handle them, it's your turn to write out some terrible situations you may be faced with and your best ways around them.